It's Team Tooney fishing with reviews. Crack a beer, you know we're here. Tell us what's the news, what's the plan, where to land. Now you gotta listen, and don't forget, this is Team Tooney fishing.
G'day legends, welcome back to another episode of Team Tooney Fishing Boat Ramp Reviews. Today, we've come to the east, we've done plenty of the west, you've seen Jindalee, you've seen the Kookaburra Park. This time we come to you from Redland Bay. As you can see, epic conditions today, plenty of boats. Now, this is chockers, this boat ramp. It is absolutely busy. However, it has all the facilities that suit this amount of boaties. There's plenty of parking. We've thrown the drone up over the parking area. We can show you that. And look, boom, access straight out into beautiful Moreton Bay. From the boat ramp, there is this access bridge just here. So you have the ability to get over to the toilets. Now, they're very clean, quite new. Actually still have toilet seats compared to some toilets. But you've also got a jetty for putting in, getting out. And as you can see, most people here have been following the etiquette. Pull up, furthest most point, and closest boat wins, gets in, gets out, and gets the job done. G'day legends, at Team Tooney Fishing, we're all about good mates, quality gear, and real adventure. Whether you're on the water, in the bush, or at the boat ramp, we've got you covered. Are you keen to level up your kit? Go to teamtooney.com and check out the full range. Adventure's calling, gear up, and get out there.
And don't forget, this is Team Tooney fishing.
So, I'll take you for a walk around, we'll go check out the facilities. Now, this boat ramp is fairly new from the looks of the construction of it. I'll have a look in the, do a quick Google search and see when it came into play. However, there is an old one just on the other side. So if you've got kayaks or anything like that and you want to stay out of the way of the boaties, a little bit further down the road, right on the coast, you can throw in right there. There's only about 2 trailer parks though, so keep that in mind. There is also ample security around here, both on the footpaths. You'll see a couple on the poles over there. Okay, and there are plenty of cameras around the parking, so your stuff is going to be safe. Hopefully, look, the cameras deter and do their job. If not, hopefully you can get a bloody footage of what you're missing if you ever get back and that occurs. However, most people I've spoken to here today said it's quite a friendly boat ramp. Etiquette's followed pretty closely and everyone has a good time getting in and out on the water. What I have noticed the council do with this boat ramp is they've provided ample lighting, ample security. All the lines are freshly painted, which makes me think this is quite a new boat ramp. And what an access point compared to what Brizzy Council have done over at the Port of Brisbane for access to Moreton Bay. I think I prefer this one. The facilities are way nicer. There's a lot more security, okay? You're not out near, you're not getting in the way of all the boats and trucks heading into the port for the, obviously, logistical reasons. Here, obviously, approaching here off the main road, come down, and you've got plenty of space to pull up and unrig. This boat ramp has 3 bays, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, and then a center section for the jetty. Like I said, plenty of lighting as well. So if you're coming in here for a bit of a night flick, there's no dramas. You're going to hit anything unless you're just terrible at reversing. Another thing is also on your approach, you've got de-rigging areas as well. So you can prep your boat well in advance for the approach. And there you go. Coast Guard, Redland Bay, log on. Okay, so they've got QR codes, everything's supplied. Once you've de-rigged, you can approach, chuck your Yui, and get set up to back up. Now there are green zones in Moreton Bay Marine Park, so make sure you scan on and have a look at where you can and can't fish if that's what you're planning on doing. Okay, we've obviously got restricted areas, and it is part or in the way of the shipping lane, so be aware of where you're going and what you're doing. Not a very steep ramp, so if you are driving a two-wheel, it's shallow enough of an ascent that you can get out without having too many dramas. And obviously there's plenty of traction provided by the grooved approaches on the boat ramp there. Once you've pulled your boat out, re-rigging area up there, and there's some re-rigging just inside the islands on the left hand side. Now the bins are a little bit further up, so once you've finished having a bit of a flick and you want to dispose of the plastic that your prawns came in, or get rid of any of the additional line you may have spooled off, the bins are located. So where you can see old mate's about to go re-rig, to the right there's some bins there. You can unload all your rubbish into the bin there. This is a fully accessible boat ramp too, so if you're, I don't know, on crutches, in a wheelchair, whatever your condition may be, maybe just getting a bit old and having a few falls, whatever it is, everything's well accessible. You got kids, zebra crossings, everything's fairly safe here. And once again, well lit, cameras, and everything provided that you need to get out in the water safely. One thing to note around this boat ramp specifically is there's quite a lot of residential in the area. So if you are coming for a late night fish, be courteous to the people living around the area. Obviously fanging your engines approaching or leaving the boat ramp, jet skis, that sort of stuff. Just be courteous of the people that are living nearby. Just come in nice and quiet, I guess, and show the respect that you'd want if you could afford to live in them or do live in them. It's quite a nice little spot, this one. Once again, there's all one-way areas through the car park areas, but like I said, you would have seen in the drone shot, there is plenty of parking here. I did notice quite a few people illegally parked, so I'm guessing this place is quite busy early in the morning. Right now there's ample spaces around, and I also noticed there were people parked out on the street. So just a consideration if coming, looks like early is the peak, and we're on a Wednesday morning. So something to keep in mind when you're coming to Redland Bay boat ramp.
It's Team Tooney fishing with reviews. Crack a beer, you know we're here. Tell us what's the news. What's